We just got off the plane. I grabbed myself an I Love New York shirt and we headed to Niagara Falls. It's a place I've always wanted to see. We're gonna check it out for a little while and then we're gonna take off deer hunting in Cobleskill. It's hard to believe that the first person to go over this in a barrel was a woman. It was either like 1901 or something like that. They pumped it up with a bicycle pump to 30 psi of pressure inside of it, and she went over it and survived. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool though. I just can't imagine how much water comes off this thing. You know, we've hunted all over the world and hunted places like the Gobi Desert, stuff like in far North Africa where there is no water at all, very little water. And just to be able to see all this water flowing down this river, it's just mass amounts of fresh water. It's unbelievable. And I'm definitely not going over it in a barrel now. I mean, you're gonna get wet, but I'm saying you can walk them rocks, huh?
You can get over there, you can walk from the close.
Just starting to rain here at Niagara Falls. We've got about a 4-hour drive to Cobbleskills. We talked to Peter and he said it's snowing big time over there, so it's supposed to snow all night, so we're gonna be deer hunting in the snow.
After spending the afternoon at Niagara Falls, Jason jumps in the truck and heads to Cobleskill, New York. When they arrive, they are welcomed with falling snow. The guys waste no time and start hanging their stands in preparation for the evening hunt. Once the stands are hung and the work is done, Jason and Eddie each head to their stands with the anticipation of their first hunt in New York.
It's actually going to work out pretty good. The wind is actually right in your face. Right now it's coming straight this way. We've got deer bedded up in this country up in here. We got corn down below us. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're just hoping that they're going to come out and feed and head to the corn, or we're just hoping that we're going to have a big buck chasing the doe. I really don't know what a big buck is here in New York. I checked the record books. They have killed some studs here, but I think that if we see like a 130, 140 inch buck, we're going to, you know, he's going down. Look, she's right on that freaking trail that the farmer told us about. that buck now. He's up above the turkeys coming across. You can smell that drag we put down, but he knows something ain't right. That's an awesome buck. We'll definitely shoot him if he ever comes back. I made a little drag when I first came in here, just playing around with it. I don't even know what it is, like some code blue stuff. And just drug it about 100 yards down the road, put it right over the other side of this log. He knew something was around here, but he just kept looking like he couldn't find it. I didn't expect to see a deer like that here in New York. The guy was telling us there's like 150-inch deer, but that was definitely a deer pushing 150 inches.
This segment is brought to you by Epic Broadheads, performance, penetration, and a payday for your taxidermist. On the second morning, Jason gets back in the same stand he hunted yesterday evening. Although he only saw one buck yesterday, he has high hopes for this stand location.
It's been a pretty slow morning. The wind's been ripping through here all morning, and it's just starting to calm down a little bit. Still pretty cold. We've had a couple does come up through here and a couple small 8-points, but we saw a really good 10-pointer yesterday, and we're going to hold tight for him. Hopefully that's the one that the farmer's been seeing on his trail cam. But it is a pretty buck. He's about 100 yards up trail from us, and we just seen him cutting through the woods there a little bit. Never had an opportunity, but today's always the day. Doe right there, small 8-point chasing her around. Rut's definitely on. Got a 3-legged doe there. She's holding that one leg up pretty tight. She's got an odd one around there. It's got to be pretty tough to eat with 3 legs. I always thought everybody's kind of a sissy having on those heater bodysuits, whatever the heck they are. But I'm ready to buy one now. Got my buddy Eddie Brooks hunting with me, and hopefully he got something going on this morning. We just seen a couple does walk up, and sure enough, a nice buck was right behind, following right in her foottails. So hopefully we'll see more does with a rut on. There's sure to be another big buck coming soon. Ooh. Big old spiker. All right, well, let's sit down for a little while longer. I was about to get out, and that's just kind of was looking behind me. That spike was right there, so I think we'll sit down here for about another hour before we walk out here. Not a bad buck right there. I should have probably shot that buck. After seeing that 10 yesterday, I'm trying to hold out for him, but I bet you I'm going to regret not shooting that buck.
Stuff's actually working.
I want to keep it in my backpack like that, so when I get on the plane, everybody can smell that we're hunters. That's what we live for.
Headhunter Chronicles is brought to you by Zeiss. We make it visible. Epic Broadheads, performance, penetration, and a payday for your taxidermist. Elite Archery, respect the game. Outdoor Edge. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Scott Archery, everyone's number one. CVA, it's just a better gun. Although Jason had some activity today, the weather is starting to warm up, which normally means a decrease in deer movement. But during the rut, anything can happen.
Starting to warm up a lot today. It's real windy this morning, and the snow's disappearing pretty quick, but this time of year you never know. These bucks are still chasing does, and we were going to change our spot. You know, we went looking around a little bit, and we decided to stick right where we're at. I kind of feel like the way all those trails intersect that we need to just stick it out and hope to keep our fingers crossed that he comes through. When we went to lunch, it had me thinking a little bit about, you know, traveling out here to the East Coast, hunting different states and stuff, and picking New York. And now it's got my brain wondering, you know, what the heck's in New Hampshire, what's in Maryland? There's all these little states on the East Coast here that's just got all types of hunting tradition, hunting heritage, and it's a whole culture that we belong to. So now it's just got my brain just going crazy here, thinking that I've got to hit every state, and definitely going to be tearing this East Coast apart. Now that the snow's melted off, we've got a scrape right there. He's got his licking branch and everything. So we hung some code blue on it and see what happens today. See if we can at least get somebody to come up there and sniff around and give us a little entertainment.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Can Cooker. Cater to your crowd. Before the break, Jason spotted a shooter buck.
There's a buck coming right here. I'm not sure what happened, but a red laser beam just came out of my ninja bow, and there's pretty much some serious commotion over there in those pines. So it looked like a perfect shot. That's an awesome buck. That's just about as wide as his ears. Got some big old eye guards. It's a pretty buck. I passed that 8-point up yesterday. He came in, and then today, with the snow melting off, it covered up. It uncovered this scrape right here, and there's a little licking branch I found on it. So I put a bunch of that code blue on it, was messing around, just put the drag, I hung it right there. And that same 8-point that I turned down yesterday came in, and I was really thinking, you know, we better shoot this buck, but I held off. I know we got 2 more days of hunting, so I held off, and it paid off. I thought that buck was gonna come in and do the same thing, but he turned right before he got to that little scrape. He turned, so I don't know what was on his mind, but he definitely was on his way out of here. I grunted him, and he stopped, and now it's all over. I can see that luminite glowing right there. I want to go see what the epic broadhead did, and then I'm going to go get my hands on this buck. That arrow went like 20 yards through him. Still smashed right into a log. Look at that. Stuck right in this branch. I mean, it's freaking stuck in there. Some blood here. Blood. More blood here. That's some good blood here. He fell over the first time right here, then jumped back up. Here he is right here though. That's a good buck. That's a big old body deer. Big old body deer. This ain't no Texas deer right here. Holy cow. When he came in, I just thought he was just a really nice buck. Farmer's been telling us about a 10-pointer on trail cam. This guy's a 9-pointer, so I don't even know if this is the deer that the farmer knows about with the rut. Who knows what's going on. I didn't know what to expect here in New York. I talked to a few people. I talked to Peter Crawford at Elite Archery. You know, he said it's really tough to get a big buck here. And then I did some research looking online and stuff, looked in different record books and stuff, and they do shoot some studs here. I mean, I saw anything from 180s to 230-inch deer here that were, you know, they definitely weren't high fence deer. They were free range deer. And, you know, archery, muzzleloader, rifle, you have a lot of options to hunt here. So definitely a state to come check out. Not only with all the, you know, the iconic features they have here with the Statue of Liberty and that kind of stuff bouncing around. You can see ball games. You could go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I mean, there's just so much stuff to do here. I mean, if you want to go hang out downtown New York, you're not going to catch us doing it, hanging out at any Starbucks. But the only thing I'm missing is a big old white T-shirt that says "I love New York." So we got to give a big thanks to New York. Thanks for letting us hunt. Good New York buck, huh?
Jason didn't get a shot at the buck he saw the first day, but he was able to kill his first New York whitetail. Being able to see Niagara Falls, the Baseball Hall of Fame, and everything else New York has to offer are just bonuses on a trip like this. Jason will be back to hunt New York again in the future.